everybody, and welcome to another video. So, Pikmin 4 demo has come out recently, and it's been pretty good. The gameplay is mostly fun. The little plot we did get from the demo is intriguing, and it's a new Pikmin game after 10 years. It can only be so bad. But despite how great the demo has shown the game to be so far, I still have a few problems with the game. First is the lock-on feature. Quite annoyingly, the lock-on feature is automatic. There's no way to turn it off or to manually switch targets, which seems like a huge oversight because it takes like 10 minutes of playing while you have Pikmin to see what's wrong with this. Not being able to switch targets easily or quickly is stupid because you will constantly throw Pikmin at something you didn't want to. And while locking on is nice, as Pikmin isn't about aiming but rather time management, some players would prefer to manually aim all the time instead of just some of the time. And not giving them that option is simply dumb. The simple lack of options in this game is really weird. For example, the tutorials. This game shoves tutorials down your throat like crazy. It's good to have tutorials for new players, even return fans for new things like Awachi, but there's no way to turn them off. Your Pikmin is drowning! Yeah, I know Pikmin drown. I've played the other games, but there's no way to turn it off. And it's like this for everything. How to throw Pikmin, the maximum number of Pikmin, Pikmin burning, electrocute Pikmin, how to charge, how to double lock on. Yes, you can double lock on by holding ZR so the camera follows the object and doesn't switch targets. Which is dumb because the lock-on system in Pikmin 3 Deluxe works perfectly. You press CR once to lock onto something, and then if you want to lock onto something else, you just press CR again. It's super easy, super quick. It just works. It's fluent. You immediately understand it without really needing a tutorial. It just works. In Pikmin 4, no, it just auto-locks onto everything, so you don't have to do anything, and you can't even choose what it's targeting. So you basically just have to spam A to throw Pikmin, and that's it. Another problem is the loading screens. They really kill the pace of the game. Once you enter or exit a cave, or just go to a exploring area for the day, the game loads. And it makes sense it has to load stuff, but it feels like it takes forever to load. And it really kills the flow of the game, especially because Pikmin is supposed to be all about nature, and then you take forever to load. It's really weird. And one last tiny thing before I get to my biggest problem, the character creator. It's a cool concept, but for me at least, most of the options just look weird. And not the good weird, like some games and films and stuff have like good weird, but like the bad weird. It's fine, and customizing a character isn't really my thing, but for me at least, the options aren't really appealing at all. But it's time for my main problem, the story. If you're waiting to play the full game for any of the story, just click off here, because the story is what the rest of this video is going to be about, so get the game, or play the demo, because this is only the information we have via the demo, at least for the story-wise. So if you want to play the full game or play the demo, just leave in 3, 2, 1. So Pikmin are taking people hostage and turning them into plant people's interesting, but there's a problem with that, and that it's delivered as the bad ending from Pikmin 1 happening, meaning it's an entirely different timeline. I've seen people argue against it, saying Alma just has amnesia from crashing in his ship, and this game is after the first 3 Pikmin games. That's dumb because why would he remember his name, that he got stranded, that's his ship, not someone else's, that he doesn't belong in PNF 404, and the names of some of, if not all, of his ship parts, but not remember the Pikmin. And some people also say it's just retelling a story for new players. which also doesn't make sense because not only is the story different, the parts are grabbed in a different order, Olimar finding a Noachi-like dog on Pina 404, and him calling for help instead of escaping on his own are entirely different. But also because multiple logs have him describe the Pikmin's actions like they are brand new to him. They are really vague, so it's possible they are old notes that he sent out by accident, or he was just rewriting things he had already discovered, or just something else entirely, but just seems like it's an alternate thing. The only good piece of evidence I see supporting this amnesia theory is that the Pikmin 1 and 2 releases came out close to 4's release, so why have us play the games again if the stories in those games don't matter? The problem with this evidence is that it's Nintendo, and they never make any sense. So while the amnesia theory does hold some water, it's not a lot. The only other realistic option is that this is an alternate timeline, which would suck because Pikmin 3 ended on 2 cliffhangers. The first being the Plasma Wraith still being alive, so who knows what's going to do next, and the second being that something purposely crashes spaceships to get people stranded on PNF 404 for some reason. This could be another piece of evidence for amnesia theory, as why would Nintendo throw away a good cliffhanger for nothing? But again, it's Nintendo. They do the weirdest things. It's also possible that we've just seen a little bit of the story, and when we get the full story it'll prove to be a continuation of Pikmin 3, but it doesn't really look like that right now. Another thing proving against the amnesia theory is all of the circumstances that go around it. Like, when did Olimar get the dolphin back? Why did he go back by PNF 404 when he knew he almost crashed onto it multiple times? The amnesia theory just doesn't make any sense to me. But we'll have to wait for the full story to know. So, see you then, like and subscribe. Bye bye.